Whew. How's everybody doing tonight? I got an audience in front of me, and my mom, and of course Kaylee. So I have to put up a little bit of that tonight. Uh, Looks like we got a few of you already in here. Um, I was on time tonight, though. At least I was able to get my makeup on and get my hair done, and so we'll get all that out of the way. And I didn't have to wear no smell good because I ain't got smell-o-vision yet, so y'all don't have to worry about that. So I skipped the shower. Um, we're gonna wait for a few more people to get in here, and we're gonna have some announcements we're gonna make. Talk about some things, some upcoming adventures coming up, and we're already planning for Halloween. Believe it or not, um, Fat Boy likes candy, right? If Kaylee don't eat all my candy, but yeah, we got some things I want to talk about tonight. There's some things spreading around right now, going around, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and then kind of had a little bit of a show change just because of events that we were unable to control. Janice, Wendy, Brooks, all the moderators are in here tonight. Thank you guys for showing up and helping with the show. We appreciate you guys. I'm sure I probably missed somebody. I'm not good with remembering names. We got Kirk will be showing up here in a little bit. Not real sure. I know he had some things going on just a little bit ago, so he's going to be working on getting on here. And we do have our the other co-host is going to be with us tonight. Christy's going to be with us tonight, and I think we're going to have a pretty good night. Um, we're going to talk about Bigfoot cryptids tonight. We're going to talk about some encounters. We're going to talk about some upcoming hunts that's going to be coming up, some boots on the ground, if you will, and I don't know, probably whatever else we all get into. Yeah, I received a. Everybody I see in the chat's talking about it already, so I'll go ahead and address it. I received information about 30 minutes ago. Scott Carpenter has passed away. Prayers to his family. Hated to hear that. It was a big surprise to me. I just actually corresponded with him just a few days ago, and very sad, very sad. All right. I'm going to let a few more people start coming on in. I didn't read it, Dana. I was actually contacted by a friend that's a friend of Scott's. We all talk. I don't have any details. We'll wait for the family to release that. I don't want to say anything. Or all that we know is that Scott has passed. I'm going to go ahead and bring Christy on. She's backstage. Help her get here. We'll just throw her in right now. Hey, Shade Viking, glad to see you're a new member, man. Glad to have you. I thought I'd just throw you on in.
Oh, might as well. Thank you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay, but I'm just sad about the news that we all had as a staff earlier. So with Scott, so that's bad. I'm sorry for y'all's losses. I didn't know him myself, but I pray for his family.
Yeah, sad and surprising.
Yeah.
So, you're kind of wearing a special sweatshirt tonight.
Yeah, I am.
If you'd like to, you can go ahead and talk about it and give them a shout out.
Yeah, okay. Well, shout out to Bizarre Tales because they're the first people with a paranormal podcast that actually accepted one of my writings and gave me some help, and then they just kind of became friends, and they're over in the UK in Grimsby. Um, but I'm sure, like, hopefully they hold me accountable for wearing their sweatshirt tonight. But I did want to, like, at least give them some acknowledgement and honor them. So
I'm just jealous that you're able to wear a sweatshirt where you're at.
I'm not. I'm in Florida. I'm in Orlando. I just have
Oh,
my.
so you're taking one for the team tonight.
I'm taking, but yeah, they're my friends. So and they've been super kind to me. So
Yeah, you guys go over and check them out. Show them some support. This really, Christy, letting everybody kind of get to know you. You this isn't new to you, except for the fact that you're just in front of the camera now instead of behind the camera, correct?
yeah, and, and most people are probably wishing, hey, I wish you were still behind the camera and not in front of it. But
No, 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 no. We're glad
yeah,
to have you.
no, it's not new to me, and the field's not as far as the paranormal. Something I really love. I've loved since I was a little kid. Um, yeah, like I said last time, super nervous about being here as a co-host, but I'm gonna do my best. So hopefully, everybody, please be kind. I'm new. Don't yell at.
Yeah, kind comments only. We got good moderators in there tonight. You don't have any worries. So not that we're going to go into them tonight or anything. Um, have you had any encounters of your own?
Yeah, I grew up actually in a haunted house. It was generationally haunted. Um, so that's what got me kind of interested in it. Um, you know, my family had like these experiences. There were shadow people, and there were a lot of door slamming. You know, glass flying off a shelf, things like that. So I just kind of grew up with that, and didn't really know what it was or what to make of it. I don't know if it's a poltergeist, or I don't know if it was something interdimensional. I don't know, but it was something, and that got me interested. And then so my whole life, that's kind of what I've liked researching and I like doing. So yeah,
You
not
know, I think it's interesting that you lived in a house that was haunted. I had that happen to me also, and sometimes the parents they don't believe the kids sometimes when you say your bedroom's haunted, and a lot of them tell you, go to bed, and
ignore it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's hard to ignore things crawling around in your floor and lifting your head up at night. It's like,
No,
well, I'm
I
doing my best.
I got so lucky though that my mom and dad had also experienced it, and then my dad, having grown up in that same farmhouse, experienced it growing up. And then also, I got really fortunate because even my grandpa, who grew up in that house, experienced it. So I get what you're saying. Like a lot of times, parents just say like, "Hey, it, like ignore it. Like just go to bed." But I didn't. Sorry. I'm also shushing my dog away. Like
Oh,
while we're
oh, you're okay. People would love to see your dog. Kaylee's little dog jumps in and out of the camera over here a few times. Sometimes we call her Little Werewolf. She
we're trying to like signal to my family, like, please get the dog, but nobody's like, go away, get out of here, barking at me. So sorry.
so have you ever like been touched by anything or anything like that, or was it just like seeing things or
Um, no, for me, it was just like I would obviously hear it. I could tell you like tons of stories like that I won't bore everybody with tonight, but yeah, seeing things and hearing things. Um, but I did have a family member whose leg was touched and they literally felt like somebody was right there with them. I mean, right there. Um, and then my mom had her hair like blown back, almost like somebody just kind of went like at her, like while she
oh
was
wow.
sitting there with my dad. Yeah, yeah. I like I said, I'm not gonna bore everybody tonight with it. Like, and I know it sounds crazy anyway, so it's weird to say out loud to somebody all the stuff, but yeah, it was interesting. And then when
Oh
I was
yeah.
little, like I got this book. And I don't remember the name of the book. I got it at like a secondhand bookstore. My parents would always take me antiquing and stuff like that. They always liked doing that. And I got myself this book, and it was all about paranormal stuff. And just ever since then, I was hooked. So yeah, really like it.
I'm glad that that you made it through it at least, and you're not possessed or spinning your head around spitting peas out or anything here. So,
Well, not tonight. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
that, we're saving that one for Halloween.
Yeah, like listen, I'm gonna knock on wood right now and like make sure that don't manifest that in the universe. Like I don't want that, but yeah, no, it was interesting. It was interesting, but it was cool that my family didn't, kind of suppress it or like knock it down. Like we had conversations about it openly.
I sent Kirk a link. He said he was needing a link. Hopefully, he got the link. I'm hoping. Um, so, when I was younger, we lived in a house that was haunted, and I always tell people it was it was a demon
Hmm.
that got me saved. Uh, my theory on it is there's no ghosts; they're all demons, and that's just biblically how I interpret biblically.
Yep.
But I seen at my aunt's house one time a figure, and the best way I would know how to describe it would be a 3D shadow, if that makes sense. It was like a shadow that had structure. It wasn't just
Mhm.
flat. Um, and whenever I seen it that night, I knew I was like, man, if I'm seeing this, it's there, it's real. Then the other has to be real too, you know. So
No, and I agree with you. And honestly, like just because I'm not used to being on camera, I probably misspoke. But because I said I didn't know what it was, but I can tell you that I had a friend one time after experiencing this, and they were talking to me, and they were saying, "Hey, like my dad passed away, and I don't understand why he hasn't reached out to me." And I said, "You know what? That's the last thing you want is that your dad reaches out to you because that means they're on a lower vibrational plane. They're not in a good place. Like, because in my opinion, and people are probably going to blow me up, but if you die and you're saved, you're going to heaven. Um, the fact his dad didn't come back, to me, that was a good sign, if that makes sense. Um, I told him like, you don't want your dad on that lower plane of existence.
right.
Like that's not a good fit. Like nobody wants. You really shouldn't want that. So sorry. I hope that everybody is not blowing me up right now.
Oh
but
no, 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 no.
but that makes sense though. Like you don't.
Yeah, yeah. Like I always tell everybody, everybody has their theories. My theory is, I think that whenever we pass, uh, that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I think that the ones that are going to be in heaven, the ones that are saved, I think that they will end up uh, in paradise. And the way I interpret it on the Bible is, when Jesus died on the cross, he told the thief, you'll be in paradise with me. Paradise, if you keep reading though, and I've talked to my friend about this, Steve, paradise, he's, in our opinion, is not talking about heaven.
Yeah.
He's talking about a place in between here and heaven, a holding place until the day of judgment. Because he
Yeah.
says, no one shall go before the other. And I think that the ones that aren't saved in Christ, then they will remain in the grave asleep until the second resurrection, until they'll be judged.
Mhm.
That's kind of where I go with it.
No, no, I understand that, and that's what I get to. That's why I was trying to tell my friend, hey, it's the best. It's the best thing ever. Your dad hasn't came back and tried to talk to
Oh
you
yeah,
because like that means he's not where he needs to be. And two, if he does, I wouldn't accept it as gospel because demons use our family members to mimic to come back and
absolutely.
on a bad path. So, and that's just my opinion. Like, I don't mean to push that on anybody else, but That's
No,
fine.
I agree with you. Here, I'll show you. There's somebody right now that's agreeing with you and us. And, uh, you know, uh, my dad used to tease me whenever he was sick and we knew that he wasn't probably going to survive his illness. He'd say, I'm going to come back and scare you, I'm going to, I said, you better not. he was always teasing me though.
Well, I'll tell all of you all. If you see me haunting you because I die tomorrow, it's not
Oh,
it's not me. Better not be me. I'm
if
safe.
you
I am not coming
if
back.
you if you haunt me, I'm
You'll
gonna haunt you. I'll haunt you back.
no, but it's like no, don't even fall for that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, no, there's no way that's Christy. She's probably got her wings now.
Well, I better. I, I would hope so. So not to push my religious beliefs on people, and I also know that I shouldn't be saying this stuff online because people get offended.
No, you're fine. Actually, here I encourage it. I just tell everybody that we all have different beliefs. We all respect each other's, and that's how we roll.
Somebody else, that's just my personal belief.
And that's what I just, that's what I tell everybody. Everybody knows how I am. I'm hard headed.
So.
Uh,
Oh.
Probably, when I was younger, and I've wondered this in the room that I stayed in,
Oh
I would
no.
see things at night crawling in my floor.
Mm.
Yeah.
Those are crawlers. Like that's actually a thing though.
Oh, it scared me.
Literally
And
crawlers. They're like seen in asylums and everything else that people go and do investigations on. Oh my gosh. You had one of those? No.
well, I
No.
didn't know what it was. Um, I
Mm-mm.
know that when I was laying in bed, I would
Mm-hmm.
see it look like somebody crawling in the floor, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" And it would, I was a kid. It scared me, and I would tell my mom, I was like, "There's something in my room. It's haunted." And they're like, "It's not haunted. It's not haunted." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is." Because I can see stuff crawling in the floor,
Solid. Yeah.
and I don't know. I was sleeping in a bed. My mom and dad had got me, and it was an old hospital bed that had the crank at the end, where you crank them up and stuff.
Oh,
That's
mm-mm.
what I slept in, and you know, I used to always think, is it going to crawl to the end of the bed and start cranking me up, or you know,
Uh-uh.
you know how thoughts run through your mind when
Mhm.
you're afraid. But here's the weird thing. I was, like I said, I was younger, about 18. I still believed in the tooth fairy. No, not really, but I was younger, and I had lost a tooth, and of course put it under the pillow, right? So I'm laying in bed, and my closet door or my closet light comes on.
Oh my.
Then my closet door opens.
No, thank you.
A lady in a red dress walked out of the closet over to the side of my bed. And of course, I'm keeping my eyes kind of shut because you're told don't scare the tooth fairy off, right?
Yeah,
So
you're trying to get her
yeah,
money.
so I'm trying to get that quarter. So I'm laying there and I'm peeking and I see the red dress and I can see a little bit of her and she sticks her hand under my pillow and picked me up. And that's what I thought about here. What Emmy said. Think how many people died in that bed. And
Oh my gosh.
it
I
picked my head up.
think
It
of how.
actually lifted my head.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, and it laid my head down, and it turned around, and it went back into the closet, shut the door, and turned the light out. Well, of course, I thought, oh, tooth fairy, cool, right? I wake up the next morning, and the next morning, the tooth's still there. So I go and I tell my mom, and she's like, well, maybe she forgot to leave you the money. I think they thought I was crazy. Well, later on, after we moved out of the house, we were building a house for my uncle, and a guy showed up, and he was a friend of the family, and he was living in the house that we had lived in. And they were out there talking. My dad, my uncle, and my mom's dad. He was helping build my uncle's house, and they was all sitting there talking. Somehow or another, he got to talking about ghosts, and he brought up. He says, "You know what? My daughter will not sleep in that first room on the left of the hallway in that house because she says it's haunted. There's a lady in a red dress in there that won't leave her
Oh
alone."
gosh, you were
And I
valid
looked. Oh, I looked right at Dad, and I said, "I told you so."
too. Yeah.
So, I always tell people listen to your kids because they might be seeing something. Now,
Kids
I
are
never had.
things, yeah, and they have, yeah, they kind of had that second vision to see it. Like, do we have time? Like, I'll tell you all a quick 5-minute story just of the house
Sure.
while we're waiting on Kirk.
Yeah.
So yeah, your story's awesome. I don't know that my story's that great, but I thought I was super cool in high school because my parents let me move up into the bedroom upstairs, right? And I was like, oh, I have my whole thing. And keep in mind, this is like a farmhouse that 3 generations back in my family had built, and we had all lived in it. So it's nothing like spectacular, but I thought I was super awesome, and I was like, I've made it. I'm moving upstairs, got my own spot. And the upstairs used to be one whole room, but my parents just divided it off and like sheetrocked it so that there was like a little front room and then there was a back room. The back room's where my bed was. And anyway, I had a brother, have a brother that's like, 2 years younger. And I thought he was messing with me one morning because there I am in my mirror putting on, my makeup to go to high school, right? Just like most teenage girls, just putting on my cover girl, like getting it all ready. And I start hearing this back and forth motion. Like I had this like leftover recliner that I had ended up getting, like, I guess we got from like an auction or something like that, and put it up there. Back and forth rocking motion. And I start yelling because I think my brother is like messing with me. And I was like, Jason, I was like, you stop it. And I was like sitting there still trying to get ready. I didn't come out. And he didn't stop. Right? It's one of those lazy boy recliners, if that makes sense. Like it's like a but it rocks. And I was just like, and then I started screaming like, how teenage girls are with their brothers. I was just like, get out of there. Like, what are you doing? And I ended up walking out there mad as heck, like that my brother is messing with me. And that dang recliner was going like this. My brother wasn't in it. My brother was downstairs still. And I literally ran down those steps so quick, like to get to my parents. And I was like, I'm not going back up. I can't get ready for school today. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, like that's like one of my biggest memories of like that kind of stuff. I was just like, oh my gosh. And I always knew that upstairs was messed up. I knew it. And it was generational. Like I knew it from stories. After they never told me when I was little, they didn't want to scare me until I started like hearing stuff up there and like having those kind of things. But when I learned that and then that happened, I was like, I gotta get out of here. So anyway, hopefully not everybody's making fun of me right now on the
Oh,
chat.
no. I enjoy the stories because that house. I used to tell people that whenever I would go down there, sometimes by yourself, it had that feeling to where whenever you would walk inside,
Like
as a
people,
kid, yeah, because you're a kid and they send you down there to get something, so you go inside and
yeah,
you're like, you find it, and then you're like, oh God, you feel like you just have to run out of the house.
yeah. I felt like I had to get out of that upstairs immediately, and then I moved back downstairs like the next day. I was like, I'm not staying up here. I know I thought it was cool. It's actually not. So I was like, no, thank you. But anyway, sorry everybody. Didn't mean
No,
to go.
no. I think what we need to do a show on you, some of your encounters and stuff. And
No, because everybody's gonna make fun of me and think I'm crazy. Like I'm sure they do right now. And I'm like,
well,
that's
they
okay.
already know you're abnormal. You're on this show, right?
I'm trying to be normal. Like, got it.
I was sitting around one day and I was like, what am I going to name my my page? And I looked at my kids and I was like, abnormal. No, not really.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The look my daughter gave me right now is priceless. Even though no matter how mad she is, though, she'll always smile at Daddy. But
Aw.
yeah,
You should bring her on. Like you should bring her on the screen. We can all say hi
I
to
don't
her.
know if she'll say hi or not. You say hi? I want you to stick your head in here. She may, maybe.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, she used to go out and do investigations with me until she got a couple of encounters. Um, she had a pretty bad encounter. Uh, it
I,
walked from behind a tree, and it was staring her face to face, and I could see. I seen it first. Um, I didn't think we was going to be able to see it that good, but I could see it moving in the trees, and usually they'll move away, and it's like you fight to get a picture of them. And I
mhm.
was like, "Do you see that? Do you see that?" And it was dark time, and I was with Kaylee and my other sister,
Uh-huh.
Sarah, and I ran up on the bank, and I'm trying to light it up with this huge light, and I'm carrying this camera, and I've got my gun on me, and I'm trying to get everything situated to try to get it. And then whenever I get up there, Kaylee's like froze. She's just like staring, and I'm like, "What do you see?" And she's like, "Dad, right there, look." And it looks from behind the tree,
Oh, oh,
and
oh.
it was probably about 8, 9 foot tall. It had like a bear's head, like a big bear's head, but like a fat, short, wide muzzle.
Oh,
And no matter what I was doing, and I was closer to it, I was probably within 12 feet from it, something like that.
oh my gosh.
It would not take its eyes off of Kaylee. I mean, I was moving, shining a light on it. I was talking, moving toward it. It was watching Kaylee. I mean, it was just like watching Kaylee. And then Kaylee goes back to Sarah, and then finally we get back to the road, and you can see it standing up in the trees. It starts walking with us in the trees as we're walking down the road,
Oh,
and it's real slow. It doesn't move real fast. It's just like
mhm.
real slow looking at us and walking.
Creepy.
And it followed us all the way to the creek.
I don't have like exactly the same, I guess, encounter, but I do understand the creepiness of like something popping out from like behind a tree like that. I was sorry, do we have time for I'm rabbit holing.
No, you're
Somebody's
fine. Go ahead.
like no, but I do recognize with her like how frightening that can be because again at this house, it wasn't just the house that was haunted, like the yard. My yard was haunted too, like the whole property. And I was outside, and again, we live out in town. So it's just me and my brother playing outside like normal. And I saw my brother. I saw him. I swear, 100%. I saw him like run behind a tree and thought like, "Oh, I found you." And when I went, because I mean, it was like a physical beat. It was like physical. It was like
Right.
through him. It's not like a transparent thing or things like that. It was like, no, I saw him run behind the tree and then I went and chased after him because we were kids and we're just playing around. And I go back there and he wasn't there. And
No,
wasn't even anywhere around. Like, and I know that sounds nuts, guys. Like, don't.
no. Actually, I've actually told a story similar to that on this channel.
It was
Me,
chilling.
oh, me and my cousins were playing hide and go seek one night,
Uh-huh.
and I was hiding in the back behind the building, and I was younger then, even probably 12 years old, something like that, and I was hiding back behind Grandpa's building, which was in the dark, away from the yard light, and then up in the front under the yard light was a big oak tree that
Yeah.
was base, right? So I'm
Mhm.
sitting there, and my cousin is knelt down beside me, and I'm like, I think we're going to win. We found the best place to hide because nobody could find us out there. They was afraid to look for us because it was so
Yeah.
dark. And he's like, I know I always hide here and I'm never found, And I
Yeah.
look, and the cousin I'm talking to is walking to the tree in the front yard.
Mm-mm.
That wasn't my cousin hiding beside me that was talking to me.
Oh my gosh. It's a mimic.
Something, yeah,
Yeah.
something else was hiding with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Just
yeah,
like not my brother, not my brother, right? Like that was a mimic. It was 100% a mimic. So that's scary. That's scary as a kid too, because you can't process it. You don't like right now. If that happened to us, yes, we're gonna be like worried, and everybody on this channel would be like, "Yeah, that's not normal," but we'd figure it out pretty quick. But as a kid, I mean, how did you process it that quickly? Because you're probably like trying to figure it. You just have to figure it out as a child. You're like, oh crap, something's wrong. Like this is
Right.
not. Yeah,
And you know that, you're like, man, I was that close to it. What was it thinking?
you were that close.
And it didn't hurt me. Um, I'm going to try to call Kirk real quick.
Okay, yeah.
For,
I'm everybody's time too. I didn't mean to be like talking about my
oh
favorite.
no, I enjoy your stories. I'm always looking for new stories. Always.
But
It kind of worries me he didn't show up because that's not like Kirk. He's usually right here.
yeah,
He didn't answer. I'll try one last person, and if not, we will move on.
yeah. Sorry again, guys. I go off on rabbit holes and then start rambling and somebody.
Hello, Janice. I'm actually live right now. I can't I can't get a hold of Kirk at all. I've sent uh, links everywhere that I know to send them, and I tried to call him. All right. Well, we're going to move on with the show, and hopefully we can get him in. All right. Move on. Okay. All right. They're going to try to get a hold of Kirk for me.
All right.
Um,
Everything okay?
Not sure yet. I don't know. I haven't heard from him, so that's kind of weird. Um, I guess we'll
Yeah.
go ahead and start the show off tonight. I was trying to stall to get Kirk on, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know where he's at. I've sent him links everywhere I know to.
Yeah. Let me go off camera really quick just so I can check my messages because I keep getting like dings from Facebook. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
I'll still be here, but guys, you all don't want to see a close up of my face. Be fine. Just want to make sure he's not trying to like message us.
That's what I was wondering. It's just not like him.
No, it's not him. Oh, he's saying it says like he doesn't have a link.
Yeah, he should have the link. I sent the link everywhere. Uh, I sent it to our chat. I sent it directly to him.
Yeah, it just looks like he had a problem, and it looks like Miss Janice said let's see, like it looks like we've all had issues today. Like maybe that's by design. So who knows? You never know who's messing with.
Well, hopefully Janice will find out something, guys. If she finds out something during the show, I hear anything, or if you hear anything, just let me know, and we'll.
Yeah, it's also hard to tell because like you can't really see timestamp. I don't know how early on our call earlier, so not really sure.
And I'm kind of cheating. I use a laptop when I'm live, and I got my phone free. So.
Oh, yeah. I need to do better about that.
That's what I kind of cheat a little bit. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start the show off tonight. I was waiting on Kurt to try to get here. I'm not sure what happened to Kurt, but hopefully he'll join us here in a little bit. As y'all know, Scott Carpenter passed away today. I do not have any specifics on it. I'm not going to, I've heard a lot of things. I'm not going to rumor mill it. I'm just going to say, Scott Carpenter passed away today, and we would like to, give our condolences to his family. We're sorry to hear the bad news, and it's a big loss to the community. It's a hard hit to the community. He was definitely one of the soldiers that stood up that tried to bring out a lot of truth to it. He was a very intelligent gentleman. I listened to him many times. He was really into the DNA with Melba Ketchum, and there's just a lot that he really brought to the table. I've actually had been corresponding with Scott Carpenter the last 2 weeks. He was talking about how he had thought that I had found a piece of the puzzle that he was working on by some ideas that I had aired. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to go deep into that with him. I wish we would have had time to have explored that area to kind of see where we were at. Uh, he said that I had done a few things that had really interested him and Melba, and they really was wanting to kind of put some data together.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that, or at least with Scott. Um, you know, I was just getting to know Scott. I don't know him as well as most of you are probably going to know him in the community. We had just started corresponding. Um, he was always very gracious, very very good man to talk to. It was always a pleasure to speak to him. Um, I think that you know, he must have been on the right track. He had a lot of support, and I just like to say that it's a huge hit and a huge loss to the community. And the kids now are the ones that need the prayers to deal with the loss of a dad, a brother, an uncle, uh, a family member. And we all just pray that Scott Carpenter's family has peace as much as they can right now. I know words don't do a lot, in time like this, but I was told by some people that Scott was a good Christian man. And just remember, and I try to go by this by losing my dad, is it's not goodbye, it's see you later. And we have hope in that through Jesus. So that's how I look at it. And Scott will always be remembered. He was a true investigator. And if anybody in the crowd would like to say anything about Scott, we can take some time tonight. I wanted to set aside. I hadn't had it planned, but I want to set aside some time and let's talk about Scott a little bit and remember him and his legacy. Let's talk about some things that he was onto, and let's just share a little bit of who he is and everything he done. I think he was a really great guy. Uh, Too young, guys. Too young. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for that. Um, Starfire. There's been a lot of things that's been said. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the details. I don't know the details, and I don't want to say anything that would be incorrect. I would not want to say something that was wrong. Sharon, it is that this Scott Carpenter. I've been in touch now with several creators that are big creators that have worked with him, and it was Scott. Um, Lionheart says Scott Carpenter has confirmed my idea of Nephilim cryptid connection. Yes, that is my theory. Also, I started the channel based on the Nephilim theory. Um, I actually just spoke to Christy about that in her pre-interviews to be the co-host of the show, and that I believe is Christy's kind of her line of thought also.
100%. Yeah.
No, not Scott Carpenter, the astronaut. It was Scott Carpenter in the cryptid community. Uh, yes, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, Keith. I was going to talk about that. Scott Carpenter will also always be remembered for the person that used the backwards camera. He caught a lot of evidence using a backwards camera, saying that these beings or whatever's out there is moving around behind us while we're not looking. And he did. He got a lot of good catches doing that.
Yeah.
I, Scott, whenever I would talk to him, he would always tell me that it's dangerous in this field and to where we're taking it. We're not just talking about Bigfoot. We're talking about things that go deeper that they don't want to come out. When you start proving the Nephilim and the fallen angels and everything, what you're doing is you're proving the existence of the Bible. It's my theory and my thought that we're in the end times right now, and we're taking a lot of sin in the world right now, and we're recognizing it as good. Um, Everything that is good and about Jesus has been suppressed right now. And if the findings would have came out that would have proved that there was Nephilim, it's just another proven ideology that the Bible is real. And Scott was worried about that. We talked about that, and I don't know if Scott did, but I've received death threats for the last 2 weeks. Kurt got a few. But when you start diving deep into things that certain people don't want brought out, they start threatening you. And it's not going to change what I do. It's not going to change how I present my show. We're trying to find the truth, and we have to keep digging. It's one of the reasons I was kind of weirded out by Kurt not showing up tonight, which was really not like him. But,
no, not. I don't. Well, I'm new, so I probably shouldn't say not like him. I don't think I like him. We just talked to him, an hour ago with the ladies here, and
yeah.
I'm hoping he's reaching out to somebody.
Right.
I wouldn't think he'd be like that. And even knowing like Kirk, like he's been super kind to me when I about these lives. Have, a panic attack for everyone. And typically reach out, so it's just unusual.
Yeah, Michelle. Michelle brings up a good point too. There is a lot of YouTube channels right now that are actually being deleted for talking about the truth. Everything is trying to be silenced right now.
No, that's true, Michelle. Oh man.
Yeah, huge. There's a huge movement to silence everything. We're still going to talk about not Kurt. We're going to talk about Scott throughout the night. Moving on to one of the next announcements that I wanted to go on to is, if y'all missed it, Frida says that you're breaking up a little bit when you talk.
Me or you? Is it
you? Yeah, she said just breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, I don't know.
I can hear you right now. It does sometimes, and sometimes it's not bad. We'll get it figured out.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm still new at this. Trying to figure it out.
Kurt was on the Paranormal Roundtable last night with Josh. I'm sure a lot of you seen it. I got a lot of emails regarding his appearance. We was grateful that Josh Turner would allow Kurt to come on his show and to give us a plug on his show. Thank you very much, Josh, for that. I know Josh is going through some things right now, so prayers for you, Josh. And I was hoping Kurt could be able to be here to talk a little bit about his visit over there and everything, but I'm not sure. Again, where he's at. So we have some Halloween parties that we're planning right now that's going to be coming up in the future. We have some special guests. One of them is actually going to be Sarah's going to come on, my sister that got slapped on the encounter. Her leg was grabbed, and we're gonna talk about that.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah, she got grabbed and slapped. Sounds fun, huh? You still want to go investigate?
Starting to wonder.
One time.
I'm in over my head, everyone.
Yeah, so she's going to come on and talk about some of those. I guess I'll go ahead and announce that Christy's accepted the co-host position on the show, so she's not going to be temporary. She's going to be one of our co-hosts to the show. So I know I'm putting her on the spot. She has a little bit of anxiety being on the show, but I told her she's going to do great. Uh, she has a lot of things to offer the channel. She has a lot of knowledge, and I think I think it's really going to be beneficial. And she's very intelligent. I've spoke to her several times, and we're glad to have you. So you'll be okay. I promise. The people here are nice. Well, most
No,
of them.
they're, oh gosh. No, that's nice. No, I'm excited. Can you hear me? Am I breaking up still?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, no. So thank you all. Like, super nice of you all to hopefully connect with me. Keep in mind, my children are watching, so please do not say anything too terrible. Just message me directly, terrible stuff. Like, don't say anything too terrible while my kids are watching, please. I'm still learning, so.
We're gonna put you on the spot a few times. We might let you do a couple of shows by yourself.
No,
Not really.
I would die. I can't. You make it now. I have background for this, so no, no, no.
I'd like to ask for prayers for Brandy, the other lady that co-hosted with us that helped us out for a while. She's I'm not going to go into detail, but she was admitted into the hospital and has had surgery, emergency surgery. She is doing better now, so I would just ask for prayers for her. Um,
Yeah.
Sounds like we got attacked pretty hard. A lot of stuff going on. Everybody's either sick or toothache or something, or my daughter giving me the death stare right now.
Eh. If it makes you feel better, my dog's barking in the background, which makes I may have to screen soon to go and take him away. So
All right. Well, was talking about tonight. Was going to talk about cryptids being flesh and blood, and people want to know some of my thoughts on them. You know, being flesh and blood, and so forth. And one of the talking points that I'd had, that was going to talk about was they need. It seems like food, water, and shelter. It seems like a lot of the investigations they find. They've either made huts or they're stealing food or they need food, and they're usually found by a water source. So that would kind of show that they kind of need the three things that humans need: the food, water, and shelter. You think that would be a good thing to go off of?
you asking me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's.
Making you nervous.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's okay. Uh, a friend of the family's that went down to my mom's.
Person, so like being on camera is like makes me even worse, and then being put on the spot makes it even worse. So yeah.
Nah, you're doing great. Even down at my granny's, they seen one of these creatures. It was actually eating scraps uh, at the back of the house. So we know that they also need food.
Yeah. Well, and
So
that's why, like, if you don't mind, like, I guess we're just having a conversation, right? So we're talking about it. That's
sure,
super confused. I'm interested from the audience as well. Sometimes I think they're interdimensional things that are coming in and out, and they got these orbs and they're associated with UAPs, and I feel like, oh, they're interdimensional. But then I hear they're out picking berries and trying
right.
to, and I'm like, interdimensional beings probably wouldn't need to get food. So I don't know. Like maybe I sound like an idiot, but I just kind of go back and forth with it, and I think about it a lot. So
One of my theories that I have on the orbs being associated with the cryptids is I believe that they come from the Nephilim. I share the same opinion as Scott Carpenter did on that. And I believe that that bloodline in the Nephilim would attract a disembodied spirit, which would be the demons, which would show kind of a relationship between the two.
Yeah.
Uh, Having that relationship, they say approximately 25% of people that have a cryptid encounter will have a paranormal encounter. And I often wondered, is it because of the bloodline that is in the cryptids that causes people to see these orbs
That's
around them? Because it would kind of be like your cousin that doesn't have a body, and then you even get to wondering, what if these creatures allow these disembodied spirits to inhabit their body?
that's right.
It's just a theory,
Yeah.
and I think that it's possible that
Yeah.
that connection would cause the orbs, because I've ran into orbs before, and then had the encounter with the Sasquatch. But also, what was weird too was tell it to leave in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, and the orbs would leave. We witnessed this with Sarah and Kaylee. The orbs would leave, but the physical being that was there with the orb, it didn't leave. So that told me that there was a spiritual aspect and a physical aspect that we were dealing with. And that's where I started getting my theory from, because whenever you practice it in the field and you're having encounters and you're seeing the orbs and you're seeing the physical, and you're telling the orb, hey, leave me alone in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, and you see the orbs vanish and go away, but then the solid objects, they stay there. And then I have to go back to the Bible, and Jesus even says in the Bible, I am the only one that has descended, ascended, and walked on earth.
Yeah.
He's telling the only reason he was able to do it, he also walked through walls too, but he was in a glorified fourth dimensional body. And nobody on earth right now has a glorified body. He even tells us, behold, I stand at the door.
Yeah.
He stands at the door of everything. And in my opinion, nothing on this earth happens without the permission of God. Even Satan and his demons are still governed by God. God is still the absolute power.
100%. God is omnipotent. Like, he's always going to be in control. 100%. But that does make sense.
It's just a theory that I've had, because
Yeah.
if you have the bloodline of the Nephilim, and it can sense the bloodline inside of these creatures, you're going to have a connection. There's going to be a connection. But then, what's even scarier is, if you read, that there is meaner demons than other demons. Some are stronger,
Yep.
others are stronger, and they're almost like military. They're ranked. They have their ranks.
Yep.
And imagine if you have one of the stronger, more evil shows up, and then he takes over the body of this large creature. Is that the deaths that we're finding right now, where people are tore apart?
Oof.
I know I have a lot. I go kind of deep.
No.
Well,
No.
because you can go even further, and you can say, is the reason that they're doing this, is it because they're hungry? I doubt they're hungry. There's plenty of food out there to eat, right? So if you're not hungry and you're killing children and you're devouring their organs where most of the nutrients and the blood's at, would that not maybe be done because of a blasphemy to God, where he says that we shall not eat flesh and blood?
Yeah.
Just a theory.
Nope. Fair and very fair points. Yeah. Sorry. I wish I had a better like clip to come back with on this. Yeah, like I guess I don't, not because I don't care, because I think about it all the time, and I try to think about, like I said, I try to think about it like, is it interdimensional? Are they actually just biological beings that we just haven't discovered yet? Because that happens all the time too, guys. Like, we find stuff in the, in the oceans and this and that we thought were extinct for years, right? Like, we can do that, but I'm kind of with you. Like, I feel like it's spiritual. And there's, yeah. So I'm probably gonna get blown up for that too.
Oh, no. And another thing is, I think, and I want to make sure that people understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I don't believe in portals. I absolutely 100% do. I just don't agree with how some people believe portals are used. If Jesus says that this flesh cannot enter that
Mhm.
dimension, then I base, like I've always said, my rock is the Bible. That is my basis for my investigations. Because we don't have a lot of concrete evidence to really go with in this, and speculation and assumptions have to be made. And I know it's dangerous when we do that, but unfortunately, that's really all we have in this field right now. I mean, we have a few concrete things, but mostly it's speculation, and there's absolutely for sure no experts in this field. Um, but I think that
Well, they think they're they some people think they are, but
oh
yeah.
yeah, we even have one guy named the Bigfoot expert, and he has his own show, and I've talked to him about that too, and we
No,
have
but yeah, and I didn't mean to like interject, but I know how you feel, but you know what? That's why everybody on this channel is probably made to feel crazy about our thoughts and beliefs because there's not a bunch of answers.
right, and
So
and I think that the portals are probably you know used, but I think they were used by the disembodied demons that are here. I have no doubt that they use them. My only thing is, I do not believe the flesh and blood creatures, the dogman, the werewolf, the Bigfoot, the reptilians. I don't believe they're able to use them because whenever Jesus talked about that, you know, our bodies cannot go in. Even scientifically, our bodies cannot go into the fourth dimension. Our brains are not programmed for the fourth dimension.
yeah, no,
Uh, Scientists, have done studies on that, and they said that our body cannot do that. And it goes right along with what Jesus said. He said that you cannot enter into that until you receive your glorified body. Now, the demons, I believe, are definitely using these portals, and I believe that they use them to go from here and there. Uh, you know, they you can open them, and then people say, well, if you're opening a portal, then you're bringing more demons into the world, and I don't believe that either. I believe that all the demons that are ever going to be here are already here because God cast out one third of the demons. Now that could have been out of trillions and trillions of demons, and a third of that would be an enormous amount. But I think Earth is more of like a prison planet. They are here until Judgment Day because He says there is nothing new under the sun, and we're kind of stuck here with them. I don't think hell in the beginning was ever meant for humans. It was meant as punishment for the fallen ones. And if you go to hell, pretty much, it's because you chose to. You have an option not to. That's just my opinion. So I think that's how they move around.
and yeah, I mean, but that's a fair thought because why would any of us think that they're not using portals or science? Like, that's scientifically like proven, right? That we have different dimensions and this and that. Um, and we know that. Like, you can do the math if you're smart enough. I'm not, but why would we not be shocked that there is a way? I mean, there's a way to be explained that they're moving around. Just like I think UAPs are them and part of the Great Deception. And I know, again, that's not super popular, and I'm probably going to get blown up or you're an idiot, whatever. But no, I mean, I think we have to start thinking more tangibly about them. I mean, there's ways they're getting in, there's ways they're getting out, there's ways they're displaying themselves. I don't know, just my thoughts. I don't
I
think
I, I
probably.
actually I agree. I agree. Uh, I agree. Cynthia, thank you for the super sticker. Big Chungus wants to know, what do you think about the CERN portals? I have a theory on CERN also. I think CERN is not going to be used to, again, not to open portals to be able to bring more in. because we already have the amount we're going to have. But I think that what we're trying to do, and this is the best way I know how to explain my theory, is we all operate different vibrations.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the vibrations and you to make it easier to understand, look at, say, we're broadcasting right now on, say, 96.5 AM. CERN, I believe, is a machine that they are using to try to find the demon's frequency, to be able to tune in, to be able to peek into their world, and to be able to contact them. I believe that's what they're trying to do. They're searching for that signal. Uh, what's scary is the last time that they had their machines running, they did come out and make an announcement, and they said that they have found what they were looking for. I hope they have not, but the way they were talking, they said that they did find what they were looking for. So hopefully, I don't know. I hope not. I really do. Um, Another thing that we know they do is they make huts and they live in buildings, caves, maybe even under bridges. I found some old buildings down around here that were abandoned from the old days, and I have found actual large hay nests inside of them, bones, kids' toys, uh, all kinds of trinkets, tools. It's like somebody went out and stole a bunch of stuff. Cynthia says, "May I ask about Skinwalker Ranch?" Skinwalker Ranch, I think, is it's got a lot of puzzle pieces. I think.
Like good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think maybe even the possibility that there may be a military base under that ranch that's causing a lot of the readings. They may also be using that ranch, and this is another theory for the Operation Blue Light. What do you what do you think is your opinion of Skinwalker Ranch? Christy, are you ready to go there?
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm probably gonna get blown up for it, but so I think that's one of the portals. I think it's the portal place. I think there's a lot of um demonic things in and out. And on the last show, probably showed my butt a little bit. Said like, I don't think we need to be contacting. We're doing that. Like trying to contact these UFOs or UAPs or like whatever we call them. I don't think that's a good idea. Um, and I also think that that's probably government installment. So I don't know. Like I don't want to do but
Right.
that's my opinion. Like I think that you don't.
You're
Yeah.
breaking up a little bit.
Oh gosh.
Is
Hey,
it is
let
it
me
possible?
let me restart really quick. Keep going. Let me restart and just try to see it. I live out in the county, so I have to rely on Wi-Fi.
Oh, I was going to ask you also. Is it possible that your phone is it speech activated? Because I know that when you turn your head away from it, it does it really bad, but when you're facing it, you're real clear.
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
don't
am
know
like
either. I'm just guessing.
I'm I am like not fancy and tech savvy enough to probably know, which I should be before being on a live podcast. So, but let me just restart it and see if that helps because it helped the last time. If you don't mind, sorry, I know this is not professional. Don't
That's
judge me.
okay. That's okay. I can blab. I got a lot to blab about.
Oh, perfect. Let's just like go off camera. See if I can like reset a router.
Okay. And guys, uh, yeah, she is. Christy actually has a lot of personal encounters. We're going to have her on the show and get some of those encounters out of her. I'd like to hear some of her stories. She's worked behind the scenes quite a bit with some other places. Um, but yeah, I think that abandoned places like barns and stuff like that, I believe that they will go in and live there. Uh, I think that they, there was a lady. I'll tell you a story. There was a lady that contacted me, and she said that, and for a long time, she had one that actually lived under her house, and she had a large raised house, and she done, what we talk about not feeding them, and you know, uh, gifting them, things of that nature. And she did do that, and it lived under her house for years and years and years. And it didn't bother her chickens. It didn't bother none of her livestock. Her dog, she said, would bark at the floor a lot and sniff the floor and follow it, but it would do things, like that. But then, you know, she got sick, and when she got sick, she was unable to feed it, and they came back and said that her dog had turned on her and killed her inside of her house, but I'm not so sure that happened. I'm looking at a case right now. I'm going to be dropping uh probably maybe tonight or tomorrow. It's out of Houston, Texas. I'll give you all a little bit of information about it. Another dog attack. A lady was killed, and when the police got there, of course, they're saying that her dog's done it. Her dog's done it. Same old song, same old dance. But here's the thing: the police put in their report the dogs were in the house and did not have access to outside. They were actually secured in the home, and then they come out and say, "Oh, it was her dogs." She's dead in the backyard, and her dogs are secured in the house. Now the dogs were taken again, and they were put down. Same old thing, same old thing. So really, it's sad that the dogs and the animals are paying for what's going on. Sharon Whitson says, "His passing is breaking my heart, but God will only take us home when our time is up. I became a widow 11/22 of 2020, and I know what extremely long, hard road that his wife will barely father protect." Yeah, he's too young. It is hard losing somebody like that, especially to lose somebody fast like that and not to be able, to expect it, or it just I feel so sorry for them. And Shade is right. He was the one that started doing the backward facing cameras, and I think he really has something there. It's a technique that I plan on probably deploying. Uh, Dirk's Scott Carpenter passed away, so okay, I didn't know that. They said he was divorced, but he had a girlfriend. I'm sorry for the loss, Sharon. Uh, and Shade Vikings, right? Predators do watch over you while your back is turned. Wow. Her husband was 46. He passed away of a massive heart attack. Uh, that's way too young. That's actually my age. I'm 46 years old. Uh, I got the health and the build of a 29-year-old. But I'm 46 years old by human years. Uh, it's very sad. Let me see if I can get a hold of Kurt one more time while we're waiting for her to come back before we move on. Kurt's got me wondering what he's up to. Jesse on the Mind Speak. Again, I believe that is something that's coming from something evil, and I believe that you have to give it permission to be able to do that with you. I don't give it permission to do that, so I've never experienced that. I pray against that. I don't recommend or encourage that. Um, I think that that's a bad idea because I believe that if you encourage it, you're allowing them in. I believe that they may be able to try to do that to you, and I think that if you ever start to experience it, then what you should do is start, pray it away till it to leave you alone. I have Henry. I've sent three or four now. Queen Rose, we will pray for you. She has a small clot in her head, and she's asking for prayers. But yeah, he's not answering. Let me call Janice. We'll put her on speakerphone. We'll put her on live.
Hello.
Hi, Janice. I have you on speakerphone. You're live.
Okay.
Have you heard anything from Kurt?
Not a word.
I can't reach him anywhere. I've sent links and messages to text, messenger, and everywhere, and I can't get a hold of him at all.
I do remember he said earlier that he had a Jeep to work on.
Okay, I don't think he would miss the show though. I think he was planning on being here.
I thought so too.
Okay. Well, if y'all hear anything, let us know. We're going to continue on. Christy's back.
I will. You guys are doing a great job.
All right. Thank you. I think she's a great co-host. I think she's doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, me too.
All right. All right, guys. I have no idea. We're going to bring her right back in.
Hi, sorry. Hey,
There's,
and I wanted to, like, can I say something really quick? Because right before I freaked out and like left, one of the viewers just said like, "Hey, be careful with your information." I wanted to thank them. I hope you meant that from like a good place, not a bad place. I'm still learning all this, and I'm still learning like, hey, don't put your last name out there, and I'm still super naive because like I've been telling the group, like until last week, I was just a normal mom of three. It's like now this is happening. So I'm starting to learn to be more careful because I've started seeing like more synchronicities as I talk about things this past week. So I just ask like, please keep telling me like stuff like that because I need to be reminded. I've asked Mike to like and Kirk to please help me like because yeah, I'm really naive with all this stuff. So thank you for the message that popped up and saying
you're probably talking about also when I told you this morning. I was like, "Are you sure you want your last name on there?"
yeah, no, oh thankful you told me that because I just never thought you guys have never thought about this kind of stuff. I never had to. I've lived a quiet PTA mom life where I just like cook supper and like make cookies and everybody probably thinks I'm an idiot and I'm not professional like you all. So yeah, I don't think about those things. So like if somebody notices something like that and says, "Hey, like maybe you shouldn't say this," like I will take it and I will correct my actions immediately because
I
I don't want to put my kids at risk either.
Well,
So
I think you're doing an awesome job, and like I tell everybody, be who you are, say what you believe. We all respect each other here. This is a safe place for you to
yeah,
be able to express your feelings. We don't allow personal attacks here. The moderators know what I want, what I expect. Personal attacks, people will be removed immediately. You're
me,
allowed to you can disagree with me all day. I mean, they can disagree with me all day. We can have even a spirited debate,
yeah,
but we're not going to attack each other's character. That just shows
no,
ignorance.
no,
That just shows that's ignorance.
yeah, nope. I will always be respectful when I like challenge something, and I'm really thankful for our moderators because they've been super supportive. So, yeah, but I also recognize that it's not. I don't know. Like I also know that there's probably other people listening in that's not our group, right? So I probably that person is probably super right. that probably need to be careful how I phrase things, but at the same time, I don't want to be censored. Does that sound bad? Like, I'm like,
I
did
think
I
you're doing.
should I
You
let
don't.
them to us? Like,
You
no.
don't have to worry. Don't worry
I,
about getting censored.
yeah, like
If we get censored, it'll probably be something I done. So don't
no,
worry about it.
yeah, no, but I don't want to mess everything up. So anyway, sorry. Long story short, I'm back. My dog's still barking at the door, but at least
You're,
I have it by now. So
you're not messing anything up.
oh man, what a
There,
couple of days.
huh?
I said, what a couple of days going from PTA mom to being on camera. So a
You're
little,
doing good.
a
You're doing
little,
good.
little.
Everybody agrees. You're doing good. Um, there was a person, and I think you'll get a kick out of this story. I can't use her name because special reasons, but there was a person that questioned being able to encounter a cryptid. And I told her, I said, if you'll go out with me sometime, I'll get you an encounter.
Mm-mm.
And she said, no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. The first night that I took her, I got her within 50 feet of one that was drinking from the lake. After it left, she walked up and stuck her foot inside of its footsteps. And I have pictures, but she won't allow me to share them. But
Oh my God. I mean, part of me wants to have that encounter, and part of me says, heck no. No, thank you, sir. Not today. Like, oh my gosh. Because I think about something like that and like, man, can you
right,
all imagine literally seeing Mothman or literally seeing Bigfoot?
you can't hear. Yeah, we do. I allow it. Sure.
Oh my God. I think I would be a scaredy cat unless I got to carry a firearm, and then I feel okay. Listen, I was born in Kentucky. I can shoot stuff. Like, it's fine. Don't cancel me, everybody.
And a person just said, Mike, if you knew everything, then I wouldn't be here. I want to tell everybody, when I opened this channel, I didn't open the channel to teach. I opened the channel honestly because I had questions. Um, I learn from you guys, and I hope that I'm able to at least give you all something because none of us know. And you, the subscribers, make this channel. This channel is not me. This channel is you guys. And because of your support and liking and being here and supporting us, you're standing up to those that don't want the truth out because we're stronger in numbers. And if it wasn't for you guys, the channel wouldn't happen. So, I'm here to learn with you guys. Now, there is another channel that says, whenever I'm on here, I don't want nobody talking, discussing nothing. Listen to me. That way you'll learn something. I'm the expert. I don't watch him. He'll probably get 8 next week. I don't know. But I mean, there's no experts out there. And it makes me mad when people do that.
No, that's actually really nice to hear. That makes me feel better. And that's been a consistent thing that you've told me, like you and Kirk have both told me like the last week. So when I was telling you, I'm not an expert, I'm just somebody who is interested. I was
Right.
like, and I, feel like I try to be informed, and hopefully the listeners are kind and don't judge, because I don't have all the answers either. Super sorry to disappoint everybody.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does. But I think that we can. But I think we can get close.
But Kathy, you're from Lexington. I went to University of Kentucky, so go Cats. That's funny. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry, Mike. I just popped
Oh,
up.
it's
Like,
okay. We all know that the Sooners are better.
Cat. Back expect on this podcast? Like, is this going to turn into ESPN? I think it's going.
I'm a boomer.
No, that's so, oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's
There,
funny.
there's a talk for after the show. Or
Go,
maybe a fight.
yes, cats. Okay, I'm done. I got it out of my system. I'm controlling myself.
You know, we've had animals turned wrong side out and
Mm.
on our parking meters in the driveway.
Oh
Yeah, this stuff happened at my house here. And last night, like I was telling y'all, we had something knocking on our windows last night. So last night was pretty interesting. I don't know if you've got to see it yet, but I found something out in the field that was close to our house, and I filmed it. And they were running at me in the field. I don't know what they were, but I did film some of it.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How did they say okay? Like, that's pretty shocking and that's scary. Like, for me, the first question is like about the children. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, Dana, I did see them. There was three of them. They ran right at me and my sister. I actually recorded them.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, they ran right at us. I mean, I've got it on camera. It's one of the newer videos.
And this is why I freak out when I have to take my dog out at night because I'm convinced I'm going to see something crazy like that and I'm going to have PTSD, literally. I'm just like, no, no.
I hate to say it, but in reality, and I'll probably get in trouble for this, if you did see something like that and it was coming at you,
Yeah.
let your dog go and run. I know it sounds bad to sacrifice your dog for yourself, but even at the police department and security and all, we're taught that that's what
Crazy.
that's what the dogs are for, is to save human life.
Oh,
Um,
no, and you don't, I know what you're saying. Like, I think,
because your safety is most important.
yeah. But man, that is actually scary.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Lisa says
Sorry,
that she.
Louisville person here. We got, and I said it right. Louisville, not Louisville or Louisville. Yeah.
I'm just hillbilly. I have a lot of hillbilly listeners that understand me. Lisa says she saw that video that I actually released.
I need to do better. I wasn't expecting all this week, and sorry guys, I've been like trying to get people back and forth to practices and this and that. But next week I'll plan around it because I do better. So sorry. And
You mean Monday?
huh?
We have a live this Monday.
It'll be Monday. Yeah, and hopefully I won't be working off my phone. I'm gonna go get myself a laptop and all that kind of stuff. I've just never had all this stuff.
Right. Let's see. We know that they talk.
Yeah,
I've heard them. I've heard them talk, and I heard them say my mom's name.
Oh, now that's crazy.
Yeah, I was laying in her bed whenever it said her name through the air conditioner, the water cooler. It said my mom's name.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Um, I've heard the chatter. Have you heard the chatter?
I've heard videos of the chatter. I've never heard the chatter. That's
We have the chatter where I live down here.
uh-uh.
We have a lot of Indian, Native. I'll say Native American. I'm Indian. We say Indian. Some people take offense to that, but all my Indian friends don't, or Native American friends, however you. But we have a lot of history here, and you still find arrowheads here, tools here. There was when they flooded the city. I have a map that shows where a lot of the stuff used to be, and there was what they called the trading grounds and all that. And there's a lot of history down here. I've seen a lot of things down in these woods, and the chatter is pretty weird. When you hear something say your name and you're in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah, that's frightening. That is frightening.
it gets your attention. Uh,
Did you tell?
I,
Did I ask you a question? Like, well,
sure,
sorry. Can I ask you a personal question?
sure.
Maybe everybody's wondering. Did you ever ask her, or did you ever tell your mom that you had heard it say her name? Because that's like a big deal. That's
Yes.
what it.
Yeah.
How did she respond? Like, that's.
She had heard it say it before. My mom was one of the her brothers and sisters. There was 8 that
Oh,
had the closest encounter.
oh,
My mom was standing on the steps of their house whenever she saw the werewolf look up over the steps at her.
oh,
Um,
no.
yeah, she had a really bad encounter. Dana, I'm actually working on the book right now. I know it's taking me a while, but I'm trying to get everything in it. Maybe whenever I get the book done, I could do like a giveaway on like the $10 tier of the Patreon, and I could get like Christy to sign it. We'll get Kirk to sign it, and we'll do a few like that.
Nobody wants or needs my signature, but yeah, you and Kirk should sign it for sure.
No, they'll want you on there. Uh,
So your mom actually did respond to that pretty well. I mean, she didn't shut you down.
oh no, she's heard it several times. She actually it would make noises outside of her window just to get her to walk past the window so it could sit in the tree and watch her.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right. No, thanks. Again,
yeah,
not today, Karen. We're not doing that.
yeah. It was Granny's was a really bad place. It was my granny was she was terminal, I guess you would put it. She had a stroke, and
Gosh.
yeah,
Oh,
she
guys.
was bedridden, and she had a bell. To make a long story short, she would ring a bell whenever she would need somebody to come and help her.
Mhm.
And she had a little touch lamp in her room that you could touch that would come on and off. And one night we heard the bell ring and go in there, and she's asleep. You hear the bell ring again, you go in there, and she's asleep.
Oh, Bill.
So we stood there, and then we hear the bell ring, and we're watching her, knowing now that she's not the one doing it. We look out the window, it's sitting in the tree looking in her window, making the same noise of her bell so it can watch people walk past the window.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was crap to like have them walk past. Oh no.
So I mean, it shows they have a really high intelligence. They would
Hmm?
they would knock on the door, and the way they would do it is they would hang off the top of the house and knock on the door. So whenever you look out, you didn't see nothing. But if you walk outside, it was standing up in the dark behind you on the roof, looking at you. Just a lot of weird things that it would do.
But that is smart. Like you said, they are intelligent.
Yeah, it's like they were using, they had a high thought process on how they were doing things.
Yeah. Like a human being trying to get attention, right?
Yeah.
It's really no different. Yeah.
And another reason that we believe, that they're flesh
Scary.
and blood is well, they leave handprints, they leave footprints, they eat off apples and leave them if they have found, and other things. So we know that there has to be a physical aspect to be
Oh.
able to leave, an imprint or a fingerprint or something like that.
And hey, while I was gone, just to check in, did anybody hear from Kirk? Is he okay?
Haven't heard anything.
I dog was hurt, so maybe like that. Oh. Okay. I want to check while I was thinking about it.
Wesley, all we know is that Scott Carpenter has passed away.
Oh.
Like I said, until his family comes out and they say what they once said, I'm not going to say anything. I just want to say that I offer my condolences and prayers to his family.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Thank you, Angie.
Oh,
It's just I don't think there's any doubt that bones have even been found around the world, but every time that they're turned in or whatever, they end up missing.
I have read
So,
I have read that about the Smithsonian, guys. Like seriously.
so what is your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't think people like to have the natural, what we say history challenged. So I think that you have the Smithsonian, who is not just a museum. People think it's just a museum. It's part of it's actually an institute, and it's actually out there to um, you know, it's saying they do not like alternative history. That's all I'll say. And I believe in alternative history because I do not think like what we're taught in textbooks from the government, who is like writes public textbooks, like yeah, I don't think that's okay. And I'm trying to censor myself right now because I'm like I'm probably
So,
going.
so
I'm
do you
trying.
think?
I'm probably going too crazy for this channel, but I'm like, yeah, I believe in alternative history, and I believe the Smithsonian, like, it's one of the major like cover-ups of like finding giants, like which are Nephilim. But that's what I believe. I don't push that on anyone else. Everybody's gonna pull me up for that too.
Oh,
Man,
I'm gonna take it a little deeper.
this is
Uh,
anxious.
yeah, yeah. I want to go a little deeper.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Do you think that there's the possibility? We'll watch how we say things. We will leave
Okay.
holes. Do you think that there's the possibility that they're part of a three-letter alphabet company that could be like the game wardens and stuff on these lower and higher levels, that whenever things happen that is out of their control, that they're able to get control of, they're able to do away with evidence to conceal, well, let's just say damage control.
Okay. Um. All right. Explain slow more. I'm trying to figure out how to answer this. So re-
Like,
rephrase your question so I can answer it better because I'm afraid I'm going to get us like completely canceled. So, and I
do
don't.
you think, like in the cases of a little children that are killed,
Oh my.
um,
Mhm.
when men and women are killed in their front yards, and then all of a sudden you have game wardens or other people in a federal capacity that don't normally work those kind of scenes show up and take over until military or other agencies show up, that they have a protocol or a net that to catch this stuff before it goes out, to set a narrative for, I guess, a cover up.
I mean, yeah, I do believe that happens, and I'm pretty sure. I would hope anybody watching this channel would be in agreement. Otherwise, it's not going to be on here. I would hope. But yeah, I, I 100% like I feel like that. Yeah. And
What so
sorry,
what
go on.
is your what is your thought on alternative history?
Oh,
What is your
oh man, you're putting me on the spot now, Mike. Oh, viewers looking, get ready to blow me up.
I'm inquisitive though.
No, no, like that's why I like having this kind of like conversational style, like, you know, like chat, like that's fine. Um, I believe that we tried to paint things much differently than they were historically. Um, I think that, we're writing the textbooks, quote unquote, we who are, collective us, right? Like that's us writing textbooks. That's what we're teaching people. That's what we all learn, guys, growing up, guys and gals. Sorry. Um, and I think that we know, for example, this is just like crazy example, don't blow me up, um, that before Native Americans were here, right? And that's been a long time. And hey, like, I'm a collector of arrowheads, by the way. I love arrowhead hunting. I'm
I have
super.
a ton. I have a ton
Oh,
of them.
I do too. Yeah, but they actually had like communicated that like, hey, like when we got here, these mounds, like some of them they built, but some of them were already there, and there were bones of giants. And this all sounds crazy, and I'm on TV saying this right now, like that's crazy too. But I think that our timeline is um like way off, and we don't acknowledge that as history. So to me, like, yeah, we have giants, which are Nephilim. That's what it is. I mean, that there's no other way of saying it. It just is like the Bible tells us, and then like we have this completely told in history, and then we kind of erase it and we act like, hey, nothing happened here. Look, nothing happened. And it's like, okay, but it did. Um, so we know that before the Native Americans were here, that there were giant burials, and they found these giant like skeletons. I mean that's what's there. So anyway, that's my point of view. And I'm super nervous to say this online, guys. I'm so nervous because everybody's
No,
gonna
no,
judge.
no, no, no.
Oh,
They're not. That they won't because
I'm
everybody.
okay.
You'll be surprised that people that are going to believe the way that you actually believe. People want us to put this out, just like I think that you're right. I think that people say that they have predated text before the Bible, and they say, okay, well, the Bible has to be fake because the Bible stole from this text that predates the Bible. So, but then I
No,
spoke to a friend of mine, which is way more knowledgeable than I am.
about
Steve is his name. He's my best friend, and thank you, Steve, for the knowledge and information you give me for these shows.
mhm.
And he said that they have all the reason in the world to tell us wrong dates on purpose
Yep.
to fool us and to hide the truth from us. And I agree with him wholeheartedly on that. Because they don't want us to have the truth. Actually, tonight I'm going to try something new. I'm glad you're here. I wish Kirk would have been here. I'm doing something new to the show tonight that's never been done.
Oh, do it. Do it.
Whenever we leave the show tonight, I'm going to leave you all with something to think about, and I'm going to have everybody post underneath the show tonight what they think about a theory that I'm going to leave you guys with at the end of the show.
Okay.
And it's something that I thought about last night, been thinking
Oh,
about for a
wow.
while, talking to my friend Steve. And
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you all with a theory tonight, and then I look forward to reading what you all think. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to
Oh,
really,
no,
it's
that's
going to, it's going
cool.
to open some eyes.
Yeah.
It may get me in trouble. It may put me on that list, but I'm
Well,
going
I'm
to put it out there.
up on it now. Yeah.
Oh no, you'd have to get in line. Trust me. Um,
And hey, thanks to Wildman who responded, like the Nephilim are the giants. You were right. Like
yes.
I didn't believe that. Yeah.
Sharon says, Mike, do you believe that most of the Christians would be the ones aware of these? I've never seen one, but the Bible tells us about these things. I don't think necessarily you would have to be a Christian to believe in these things. I think that they were physical in the physical world, and I believe that science is well aware of these things.
Oh,
Luciferians, the cult, all those that want to hide the truth from us,
yeah.
they're very aware of these things. Oh man, how am I going to say this? This is one where I have to be careful. There was
No,
a,
say it because you made me say it earlier. So now I'm holding you
I
accountable.
know, now I have to. There was a first lady, and I won't say her name, but y'all will probably know who I'm talking about, that actually signed an order for Afghanistan, allegedly, to bring back the DNA of the Nephilim and Gilgamesh. Rumors are when they brought Gilgamesh back, his watch was still running.
I
The
really,
watch,
I really want to say her name. Tell me to control myself. Okay.
yeah, we don't want to do that.
Okay. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Bad things happen to people that talk about her. And
Oh. You know, like suicides, and you've shot yourself twice. Okay, go ahead.
like, like let me find right here. Here you go. Like what Rebecca's saying. And
Oh my gosh, Rebecca's so right. Oh.
but
Okay.
there was
Probably.
big things about his watch was still running, and they were like, where did they have the technology back then, to have a watch that was still running? So I'm getting a little off, but uh, we got to remember the Watchers, the demons, the Bronze Age. They taught us how to read the stars, how to mix the plants. They taught everything God did not want us to know. God did not want us doing those things. And they came down and they taught us war. They taught us how to make weapons, how to forge bronze. And they were, huh?
And technology.
Yes, they were a lot more advanced than what we were. So all these tools that they're finding and all these things was done, and they say, well, a normal man wouldn't have been able to do that. But if you think about it, and if you read, it says back then people were larger than we are now because we had a better atmosphere, we had a better environment, we had better food, people were larger, stronger. And then you think, if these people were larger and stronger, how big and strong were the Nephilim? And the Nephilim were under the control of the Watchers. I bet you they could have lifted those blocks up there and built some pyramids.
Drop the mic.
Because
Just did
they
it.
say, but they say the pyramids are so lined up with the stars that, we couldn't even do that today. Well, think about this. The Bible says not to bow to the gods of the stars. Lowercase g's, not uppercase g.
Man, that's true. Well,
so
this has been a very good show. I'll just go ahead and say that.
just a theory of mine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. Don't worry about it.
And then we know they're physical because we know that people are attacked and people die.
Hey, missing 411. We'll go
yes.
Time. Yeah.
Some people are eaten alive. There's been several I've studied that they were actually consumed alive.
Oh.
Miss Hamilton, they took her to the hospital in the condition that she was in. I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but
I'm not actually. Maybe the list.
She was an older lady, a school teacher. She taught at a Christian school for a long time. Went out on her daily walk. They found her in a ditch full of water up to her neck, partially consumed. When they took her to the hospital, the police said in their report that she was uncooperative. Now, out of all my time that I've worked and done those kind of things, I have never seen somebody that was in shock be cooperative.
Yeah, no, of course not. No.
I mean, but then here's another thing I found out. I dug really, really deep. 3 days prior to her being attacked and killed, there was a 911 call of an upright black creature in the field of the ditch she was killed at.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah. And the dispatcher took it upon herself to tell the police when she dispatched it that it was a misidentification, that it was probably a large cat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize like large cats typically killed grown humans. That seems not to be.
Our dispatchers, I don't know how their dispatchers work, but our dispatchers were not allowed to assume or speculate. They told the facts as they received them.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, Silver. You're right, Foxtrot. They did. They tried to pass it off as a panther, but the thing is, when they done the DNA, it came back as unknown canine. So they tried to pass it. They tried to pass a cat off, and then it came back as unknown canine DNA. They tried so many things to hide that.
That's crazy. And as
Really.
a law enforcement officer, did that not put up red flags for you? Not to put you on the spot, but like, come on, that's crazy.
All I've ever done since I was 18 years old was working with and with security. That's all I've ever done. And I've seen so many reports, I could probably write one in my sleep. And whenever you look at a report, you know when it's written factually, and you can tell when you're trying to cover something up because they're taught how to articulate a situation, how to
Mhm.
make make the reader focus over here instead of over here,
Yeah.
and it's something you're taught. Uh, it's damage control again.
Yep.
It's oh, there we go. It wasn't working for a second. Oh, it's okay. I was trying to see what that was, and it's emojis. It's just not showing on our side. Uh, yeah. Karen says, "I am so thankful to see that uh, you took your last name off the screen. I was greatly concerned when I saw it on the first video, especially while death threats are being sent to Mike and Kurt."
Oh, hey, thank you so much, Karen. Like, yeah, like I said, I'm super naive to all this. So I was an idiot before and put it up there until Mike got hold of me tonight and said, maybe you don't want to do this. So, um,
Being the
thank-
big brother, I was trying to be the big brother.
no, and I'm thankful to Karen too. Like that's why I said, like, hey, please tell me what I'm doing wrong because I'm just literally the person that makes dinner at my house every night. Like, I'm not a normal, professional at this. So
And the Nephilim, they said some of the Nephilim had 2 rows of teeth.
I
Yeah.
go, that's frightening as well. Oh my.
And then Janice said, didn't they say that it went from 4 legs to 2 legs? Yeah, Janice, the person that called into 911 said that they witnessed it go from 4 legs to bipedal, cross the fence bipedal, and then back to 4 legs. But she did not uh, send that information out, or she sent it out and they were told to redact it.
Probably.
Get myself in trouble there a little bit, but
Oh, it's
I know
okay. Hey,
I know of
I've
instances.
already messed up enough tonight to get us all redacted. We're all gonna be. It's fine. I'm an idiot. I don't know any better.
Oh no, no, we like it whenever you talk. We try to put out as much as we can. Uh, you know, we went to an investigation, me and Sarah and Kaylee one night, and while we're at the investigation,
Mhm.
I see this creature, and it's not really big. It's about the size of probably maybe a little bigger than like a koala bear, and it starts climbing the tree with its hands around the tree.
Oh,
And you can hear me in the video. I'm like, Sarah, do you see that? Do you see that? She's like recording it. She's like, oh my God, what is that? And it climbs to the top of the tree and it dives off in the water and then swims under the culvert we're standing on. Well, we took a bunch of pictures that night because whenever stuff starts happening, usually one of the team members is videoing, the other one starts taking pictures because sometimes a picture will catch something that the video doesn't.
mhm.
And that's whenever we found the alien headed creature looking at us that I put in the video. We actually have a creature we caught that looks like an alien. It's looking from around a tree at us. I'll send you the picture later if you want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just realized I'm doing it again. Hey guys, everybody that's on screen right now, I will tell you, like, you can make fun of me all you want, but I was like, and I'm doing it again. I'm a hand talker, and then I'll like cover my face in horror and forget I'm on camera, and then I do that, and it's super stupid. And then like I was telling like the team earlier, I was like, I'm like Ricky Bobby, like I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
I do it a lot. I use my hands. It's just I have my camera. You know, it cuts me off a little bit, so that's good. You can't see my hands all the time.
I'm just like doing this. I'm just like, oh,
Hands up.
whatever. And then I completely forget. So anyway, everybody please forgive me because I'm an amateur. Like, so this is my life. This is me. Like, maybe you'll get used to me. Maybe it's part of my charm or charm I don't have. Like, I don't know. So
Oh, it's okay.
I did it again, and now I'm doing it again, guys. I'm going like, oh,
Oh, you're fine. I do a lot of hand talking, but pretty much that's all I had for tonight, except for what I was going to leave everybody with. Unless you have anything you want to add to the live tonight.
Oh no, I've thoroughly embarrassed myself enough tonight. I will control myself and not say anything else. So yeah, I'm good.
Oh, he's right. This one guy said, we're all Italian. We talk with our hands. I am Italian.
I'm not, but I identify as one. I think everybody's able to identify as things nowadays. So I'm Italian.
Right.
Doing this.
You're now an Italian. So I'm going to leave you all with something tonight, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to wait for your all's messages after the show, and I will read them. Okay. There was a debate the other night I watched on TV, and I talked to Steve, and we were talking. Okay. Here we go. They say that dinosaurs in the Bible were spoken and called dragons. Either way, we know that they were here. We have physical evidence. Yeah. Scholars have all said they do not believe in the flood, that the dinosaurs were killed by an asteroid. The Earth has been hit by asteroids a bunch of times, and I'm going to get into why I do not believe that theory. Okay, I'm going to flip the theory on everybody. I believe the dinosaurs drowned in the flood, and the reason I believe that is because scientists have proven that their heads were outreached upward, with their mouths open, like they were taking their last breath of air. Now, the Bible says that the firmament opened from the ground and from the sky, and that the earth was flooded and the firmament was then divided after, right? What if these asteroid impact craters on Earth, and there's a map, you can Google it, and if you look at them, they're all over the world. There's not places that do not have these impact places. What if I was to say that they were not impact places, that they were geysers, like in our parks, that were part of the Great Flood that opened up, and that there's proof that they opened, that we've been lied to, just like the aliens, that these were not asteroids that hit the Earth, but they're where the ground opened up and flooded us during Noah's flood. And I'll leave you all with that, and we'll see what y'all think about that. Until next time, guys, we're gonna let Christy have the last say, and then we're gonna end the live tonight. And I will check on Kirk and let y'all know as I find out. So,
no, I've embarrassed myself enough tonight. I will not.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Christy, for being here tonight. I think we had a really good live. I wish Kirk could have joined us. Our thoughts and prayers to the Carpenter family. We will be thinking about you. So sorry to hear that news today. It really bothered me also. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't forget to watch us this Monday night coming up. We're going to have a special live, and we're going to talk about a lot of other things there. Christy will be joining us, and we look forward to seeing you. So next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Christy.
All right. Thank you all. So nice. Thank you so much.